Modern recruiting, real support, growing in the new era of insurance.
Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.
We're your hosts, David and Al Denning.
What happens when a millennial couple dives headfirst into the insurance world, scales $1 million remote business, and decides to share the journey with the world?
You get the Modern Insurance Agent.
Here, we reveal the messy, magical, and sometimes hilarious realities of building a business and a life you love.
From traveling the globe to building remote teams. Yes, even working remotely on top of a mountain in the Philippines. We're sharing insights, strategies, and plenty of laughs to help agents and entrepreneurs succeed.
Because, let's face it, success isn't just about hitting numbers.
It's about designing a life that works for you.
So let's dive in and build something extraordinary together.
Welcome back to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. Most people don't think insurance recruiter and modern marketer go in the same sentence. Today's guests are changing that. But before we dive in, you can get the resources, the show notes, all the great stuff we put together with you, plus how to connect with our awesome guests if you go to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast. We got it all put together for you. So today's episode is actually a special one. We've got Cameron Green and Michael Horton, who actually took over our podcast studio and kicked me over to my office. And I'm super excited to have them in person in our studio here in St. Pete, Florida. And they are two rising leaders in the insurance space who are making major moves from inside one of the biggest platforms in the industry, Network Insurance, a division of AmeriLife. Cameron brings a sharp consulting mind and passion for strategic growth. I know Cameron personally can verify all of this, helping agents reach their goals with customized planning and support. Michael's story is one of grit and transformation, leaving Miami with a suitcase and finding a career that became a calling. Together, they're not just recruiters, they're builders of teams, culture, and momentum. And we'll dive into their personal journeys, how they're changing the game with modern recruiting, and what's next for the future of our industry. So let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Cam and Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, David.
Yeah, happy to be here, man. It's been a long time coming, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And, we got you guys finally in the building. You guys are shooting your Nerf guns and the bow and arrows in another room and playing lightsabers and having a good time getting ready for the podcast, guys. And so excited to both, business, life, fun. And I think that's what it's all about. And we'll talk about culture and relationships as a part of this episode as well, guys. So, but let's start from the beginning. I find that's a great place to start. When were you guys born? Just kidding. We'll go ahead and hop a little bit further down the line is, what brought you into this industry? You guys are younger. I don't know if you guys were like, hey, listen, high school hit and you're like, listen, forget sports, forget, being an astronaut. I want to be in insurance when I grow up. So tell me a little bit how you guys ended up in this industry. Cam, how did you get in here? And then we'll hop to Mike and get his story too.
Yeah. Our story is pretty interlinked, but originally we got introduced to, Network Insurance and AmeriLife through a company friend of Joe Orsini, the principal. His name was Joe Goulash. He kind of showed us the ropes. He was more of a trainer on like the marketing side, how to talk to agents, and made the introduction for us and vouched for us to even be in this position. So super grateful for him. That's basically how we got introduced to Network Insurance. But I don't know if Mike wants to start the story from a little bit farther back.
So I didn't go into the insurance industry like gun ho. This is what I want to do for my entire life. But I believe I graduated during high school. 2020, COVID happened. Couldn't do sports anymore because basically I was trying to be a walk-on and that kind of ruined everything for me. But when I got into insurance, we were basically talking about Medicare initially with a lady called Miss Williams, great lady. And then once we got into that atmosphere of, hey, there's renewals, hey, there's a bunch of sales that we could make during, AEP when people actually need help, right? So we initially were going to be insurance agents. And then we met up with the company friend, and that company friend was like, hey, you can actually do more and actually help the people trying to sell and just give them the tools and the access to actually just become a fully blown agency and things of that nature. So that's how we got into Network Insurance. It was a bumpy road. We had to move from Miami to Tampa. And that's how we're in St. Pete with you right now. And we're young. So we had to basically uproot all our friends, all our connections, and just start over somewhere new. Right. It was a good start though. I mean, I don't know if you have anything to say from there to what we learned.
I would say that move was a bit rough. Basically packed everything in a car and just, we're starting a new career in a new city. Didn't know anyone, but I've personally grown to love the Tampa area and Clearwater area.
Yeah, you guys get to dominate the basketball courts out here instead of Miami, right? So
Sure.
taking over. And with that, were you guys, kind of entrepreneurial before this? I mean, I'm asking that, but I know. Tell me a little bit about, hey, what kind of work did you prior to this? And especially that, kind of maybe even around your own businesses.
Yeah. I would say my start to sales in general, which it was a 1099 job, was actually door knocking for solar. So imagine that in the Miami sun, middle of summer. Miami people as well. You knock on the door, they're definitely not happy to see you. So that was my introduction to sales, but I feel like that taught me a lot about just perseverance, understanding how to. You don't have to take everything so seriously. Like sometimes they're rejecting you because you don't know what type of day that person had before you knocked on their door, and you really have to not take things to heart. And that translated well, like to over the phone or cold calling, because I didn't have that type of personal attachment to being rejected.
And I didn't start in the sales industry. This is actually my first sales job. So I had to basically learn from, the ground up, which is good as we learn for insurance agents, because it's like, hey, you don't have any bad habits. I think that's all the agency owners we talk to. They love the new agent, fresh, no new bad habits or anything like that. So I definitely got into network recruiting and talking to agents from nothing. That means no sales process, no understanding of what a conversation should be, rapport. We basically had to build that from the ground up and studying. And it's great, man. I mean, honestly, I enjoy sales. I didn't know I would like it this much. And the reason I like it is just the relationships I made over the course of the year. Like, had people crying on the phone from the way we've helped people, right? It's pretty impactful, to be completely real with you. And I believe that's how we got into the sales industry. At least I did. And I wouldn't change it for the world. My dad was an entrepreneur, so I think it is in the blood a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a crazy transition. I think I mellowed into it better than most, just because of the fact that I grew up around someone trying to be an entrepreneur. So I kind of understood like what it takes to a certain extent, right?
Absolutely. And what industry were you in and around, Mike, before hopping into insurance?
So my dad was basically doing SEO, basically marketing. He makes websites, and my mom makes websites. So they're beautiful marriage right there. They're both heading the entire company. And I remember being like 11 to 12, not knowing what the hell is going on. And we're just in an office. I'm in an office just sitting there with a GameCube. And they're just like, yo, just sit here for a couple hours. Like, we're just working, right? So it's crazy to see it and realize this is what the entrepreneur lifestyle is. There's hard months, but there's also great months and great years, right? And just the communication and the relationships you build from the people I know from them, it's just, it's better than any other industry, in my opinion.
Absolutely. The most important question was, what was in the GameCube?
So I believe I had Mario Sunshine.
Okay. Quality.
I don't know if you know that one water park one. Like he has a water gun.
Yep.
Yeah, that was my classic right there.
I think Wind Waker and a few of the Zelda games on GameCube were my go-tos for sure. But lots of good games on there. But it saw me attempting to flex a second ago a little bit as well. But you also from the personal fitness industry, right?
Yes, that as well. It was a smaller excursion. I definitely was also having my clients and doing personal fitness for about a year and a half. It was the only reason why I didn't pursue it fully was mainly it was slower, and I didn't end up staying at the gym that I was at for long. Like it wasn't anything crazy. It was a slower industry. And again, I'm young. I think that was like my first job or second job. So I was like, oh, let me just explore and see what's out there. You know what I'm saying? And then now I'm here. That was like my first job, actually.
From helping people with health to now helping people with their health, right? I mean, so, nice transition. And tell me, like, okay, so the insurance industry, once again, like has a lot of misconceptions. It maybe isn't the PR to millennials and Gen Z is maybe not like, oh yeah, that's the sexiest, best industry I want to hop into, because they also don't know like all about it. And honestly, I think the industry does a pretty poor job in general. Part of the reason we're talking today of communicating that opportunity there. Were you guys skeptical at first and hopping in this industry and insurance, and then what flipped the switch of like, yeah, this is fantastic besides just the income opportunity?
I would definitely say I was very skeptical at first. I mean, we met this Miss Williams over the phone. She was telling us, yeah, you just write these plans. It's regulated by the government. They have to get it. It's not even a sale at this point. And you get $300. So I was looking at Mike and I'm like, where did you find this lady? Like, this has to be a scam.
Yeah, he definitely was looking at me like, what the hell? I know.
But with anything, like, I'll take it with a grain of salt and do more background research. And then I started to see like, oh, this is a real industry. Like most millionaires in the United States are in the insurance industry. So that kind of killed the skepticism for me. But I think it's really important for new agents just to understand where they should start, whether that's with a captive place, like working hourly, or completely on your own as a business owner, just understanding what you need as a person.
I think it's the misconceptions are pretty big, because I think that's mainly the biggest reason why 97% of agents don't survive like 5 years. It's you're expecting it to not be as hard, right?
Mm.
Like it's still a job at the end of the day. You still have to talk to people and you have to hit your key performance indicators, right? You have to hit the required revenue generating activities to be successful in the business. And some people don't understand that when they come in. They might get pitched sell your friends and families. I think that's another big misconception, right? You don't have to, but you only know what your upline tells you or who your agency owner tells you, right? So I think the biggest misconception is just not understanding the whole cycle of being a sales agent, and just understanding that it's bigger than just selling one policy and never talking to them again. Like you generate a lot more business just from being honest, just being transparent. Like that's how I run my business. That's how we run our business. Is there's a lot of people who don't understand the ins and outs of contracts and things of that nature, and I'm fully transparent with them, and then they realize they didn't tell me this. And sometimes there's a reason they didn't tell you. Sometimes they just didn't realize it. But sometimes you really need to know the deeper insides of what's going on. I think that's basically the end of my answer, I think.
So, and with that, I mean, I would say it's even tougher than a job. I mean, because you're building a business here, right? Exactly. There's no one be like, clock in at this time, clock out at this. Hey, I need some paid time off. I'm going to be out for a while. I get my 2 weeks vacation. Like this industry, you're building a job. You're wearing the hats. You're putting stuff in place. So I would say, as you guys well know, it takes discipline, it takes overcoming this challenge, and you got to set your own discipline in a lot of because no one's going to come in and do it for you, right? So, and you guys have been able to hop in, put this stuff in place, and I want to talk a little bit about who I surround myself with as a part of that. What was it about the environment at Network Insurance that hooked you in and made you want to grow inside of that in particular versus anywhere else?
I would say originally it was the people, like the coworkers, seeing how everyone interacted with each other. There was like no bad blood in the office. If you didn't know something, the first thing you should do is reach out to your coworker or upper management. They've probably been here for 10, 15, 20 years, so they'll be happy to share something with you. And I really gravitated towards that as opposed to somewhere where everyone was like competing against each other in the office. I just don't feel like that would be a good environment for someone just learning out to compete with people that have decades of experience.
Yeah, we sat next to Carlos Montez and Denise Glenn. So they were kind of like the people we would ask all the questions for. And it's so funny because you would have an agent calling in for a Medicare question. And then you have me on the side, like, hey, help me out with understanding this such and such policy. Like Denise, for example, she helped me with American Amicable, like their sub products that people don't usually know about, like OBA insurance, where if you're a fighter or a police officer, you actually have term insurance that's cheaper, and you could actually get $100,000 for, it might be $11 for term for 20 years. And it's very cheap and affordable for a lot of people in the firefighter, railroad worker, hospital. And it's little things like that that I tell people on the phone, because I have a police officer agent where I'm like, hey, you could literally tell them about this term insurance that can keep them protected for like $21 for 100K, right? And that's huge for some people. And then from that, cross sell into a whole life insurance policy. Just have the whole life covered as top of that with cash value. So it's little things like that that we learn from our coworkers that, just like Cameron was saying, you wouldn't learn that if everyone was competing. It wouldn't really tell you that or educate you on these smaller policies that could really bring value to the agent, just depending on whatever industry they're in, right?
Yeah. The positive personality, being able to learn from their experience, to help support. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of this industry where it is like, this is a zero-sum game. I'm competing against someone else. If I win, someone else loses. But in reality, that's not really the industry, right? There's so much need, so much opportunity. And I think when you said, oh yeah, people with 10, 15, 20 years experience, talk with them, I think that's a sign of it itself, because no one sticks 10, 15, 20 years around a horrible like group or environment situation. So that's probably a good sign from the beginning that there were people there had been there for quite a long time that were willing to help out as a part of that too. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, not to cut you off. It was pretty crazy coming into the job because we're the youngest, I believe, in the office, right? Yeah. So it's so funny. I think the first year we're sitting there like, yo, how long have you been here? Like, oh, 12 years. And it's like 12 years, like, damn, like not
that's like half my life. Yeah.
Not anything bad about it, but it's great to see almost all of them have like 8-year plus, because of the fact that I just enjoy coming back and enjoy helping the agents with the tools that we have. And there is enough money to go around. Like, honest to God, there's 24 trillion in the industry, like every year, I believe. You divide that up by 97% of people that don't stay for 5 years, there's going to be policies that could be written. Like, quite literally, there's never going to be a run out or not enough people to sell to. So you shouldn't be a competitive nature at all.
And you guys are doing a lot of like senior market, Medicare, annuities, that space. And there's like 12, 13,000 people a day turn 65. So that's a lot of people that need help, right? And plus all those that are above 65 as well. So, and what do you think, why do you think the culture of who you align with matters just as much as the opportunity itself? Like you just mentioned, insurance is a great opportunity. There's plenty of people that need help, great ways to build income. I like helping people. So it's cool that people are making a difference in their lives. But not just the opportunity, but why aligning with the right people and culture? Why is that a big difference maker for you guys as well?
I can start if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, because of the fact that this is a hard job at the end of the day, like it isn't something that's just super easy to just jump into. I would say just having someone that has the right mindset, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's an art. Sales is an art. It's not really like a set in stone structure. You kind of have to just identify your own way of doing it. And part of identifying your own way of doing it is actually being positive throughout the day instead of waking up with a bad conscience and a bad mindset when you go into calls, right? Because that's mastering the wrong art. You get what I'm saying? What I would say from there as well is just the fact that, like, if you have work ethic, if you're willing to train and help people out, we don't really push people away. And we kind of enjoy people gravitating towards us because of the fact that we help recruit for you. We help bring more agents to you. I believe we brought an agent. She's becoming an agency. I think she has like 10 agents as of right now. We got her 7 agents in, I think, a week right now that are coming over to her industry because of the fact that she provides training, that she spends 4 hours a day trying to do role plays and help agents out. We're trying to eliminate some of that time so she can keep making money. But yeah, she's definitely putting her best foot forward to help the people that need help in this industry, right? I think that's kind of my answer. I might come back, but
going along with culture, I would say like since we're mainly outbound, reaching out to people, there will be times where you can just tell that that person's personality just might not be a good fit for what we can provide right now. So if someone was telling me, hey, I don't want to do any over the phone sales. I only want to do like stuff locally in my neighborhood. Like, okay, awesome. We'll connect you with local carrier reps, broker managers, whoever we can locally to get your stuff off the ground. But at the end of the day, like Michael was saying, like we can provide the training, the recruiting of agents, the leads. But if you don't have the work ethic to go out and actually service these people, there's not much we can do on our end. So just aligning, like what Michael has said, people that are mentally there and mentally ready to have that commitment towards it.
And to go into like carrier reps and broker managers, some agents don't even know about that.
Yeah.
Like they really don't. Like I was talking to an agent, I believe last week, where she does Medicare, and basically her agency that she works for, they kind of like, you're independent. You basically have your own operations. They just leave you out in the wilderness, which is cool. She's still doing a great job. But I was basically telling her, hey, if you did 150 apps last year, right, and you haven't talked to your broker manager, you might be missing out on $10,000 to $20,000 in co-op just from having that connection to them, just from, organizing, hey, let's call Quinn from Blue Cross Blue Shield, I believe, and set up a lunch dinner, right? You guys can talk to each other. You tell him, hey, I did 200 apps last year. What can you guys do to help me? And he's going to be overjoyed because he's literally like, I would love to talk to the people in my area because they make money when you make money. So if you're not making any money, then they're not going to be a happy camper, right? But when you come to them, you said, I did a great job last AEP. Doesn't matter what type of sales you did. It could be over the phone. It could be in person. They would still want to help and reach out. And then we like to try to network those connections, right? It's pretty major for some people.
Yeah. If I had to think of an example, I have an agent out in Missouri. His name's Rodney. And, he retired. He's like, hey, Cameron, I'm just doing this so, I can service my people, maybe have some income coming in retirement. Like he didn't retire, a super wealthy guy. And then just working with him over the past few years, now I'm connecting him with the broker managers for Devoted, which are expanding in his area. And now he's like, oh, I can talk at local churches. I can do food trucks. Like he can actually support his community. And he didn't even know he had that option as far as reaching out to the broker managers. Us working together.
The resources apart are so key. Like I said, you need the right mindset, the discipline. Like, hey, I'm going to come in and do this, and also realize I'm building something. This isn't just like here, hand me everything, a job, clock in, clock out. But you guys get to be that jet, that engine that pushes them forward and lets them skyrocket with having those resources around it. And so, like, how are some of the tools like lead reimbursement, tech platforms, and recruiter support helping them win faster? You've already mentioned a little bit around that, but how do you see some of the impact on that?
I would say the biggest tool that we provide agents right now is Sunfire, which we work closely directly with that team on developing Sunfire for like all the affiliates under AmeriLife. And the biggest way that helps is some agents right now are still going carrier by carrier when they might have 6 or 7 carriers in their state, trying to look up every plan, looking at the summary of benefits. And what takes them 3 hours could be 45 minutes on Sunfire just by putting in the prescriptions, seeing which doctors are covered, and it's a lot easier to find the right plan. And we're also agents ourselves and have experience selling, have experience talking to clients. So we can also guide our agents in certain scenarios on how they should approach a client.
Just to go on the Sunfire point, it's bigger than just having a team. Like the team is us. Like we have the Sunfire team because we developed it as a company. AmeriLife, again, yeah, because we're AmeriLife, we're one of the top 3 in the nation in terms of like FMO, IMOs. So we already built these resources for agents. What I would say the biggest thing for me, especially because I talk to a lot of newer agents, is the lead reimbursement. It's usually like for AEP wise, we get a lot of co-op from the carriers because we're AmeriLife again. And from that co-op, we're able to distribute it to all the newer agents. So instead of them sitting there and saying, hey, I only have $2,000 to put into AEP, now we can multiply that to 8,000, 10,000. Even if it's not something like 50, you're still able to get a lot of sales from that. And the way I approach selling is really just reverse engineering their expectations throughout the year, because $10,000 divided by 23, you're probably going to get like 253 leads or something like that, right? Then you multiply that by 30%, which is the conversion ratio. And then from there, you're probably going to make 31K, 40K, right? And just really explaining that to most of the agents, they start to really see, okay, this is more of a numbers game instead of a luck factor. Because of the fact that you have more volume in how many leads that you can get, you're actually able to predict the results that you can get, right? And then on top of reimbursing 50% of whatever you're putting in, you're able to really just cut the risk of paying leads, right? Like you're taking out some of that risk factor because you're taking away 50% of the risk, right? Now you really got to worry about 50% of it that might not be reinvestable, or it might be a bad lead, quote unquote, for some people, right? So I think that's very important. And I would say training, like we're trying to find different ways to help training for agents. There's things are coming about, and we're trying to really just understand the best way to do it. Like for the lady that we were talking about earlier, she's trying to develop her own training for that agency singularly, right? And just really make sure that when we bring certain opportunities to people, they're actually able to sell, they're actually able to have resources. And Cam could say, like, during AEP, we're taking calls from agents all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, what's going on with that? And like our whole day is literally trying to save their scenario, save their sale, and just help them in these different regards. So I would say that's one of the things I believe annuities we're really trying to expand into as well. Really become a trainable resource for people as well, where you might even have an expert get on the phone with you while you're having the appointment. And then you can either do like a little split so the expert can get paid a little bit and everybody's happy and things of that nature. Because being able to cross sell, being able to really extend the lifetime value of whoever you're talking to really is how you're profitable, in my opinion. Becoming a one-stop shop on every single industry, because we do life, annuities, and ACA and Medicare. We're kind of like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I
And
love
even if per se, like, hey, I love life insurance, I don't want to do Medicare.
Yeah.
It's still about collaboration, right? So why don't we connect you with someone that only does Medicare, won't touch your life business?
Yep.
And now that's an added offering to your business, and you feel now your client feels like they're fully taken care of, as opposed to, all right, I have this one policy and now I don't know what to do as far as my Medicare.
And yeah, like if you really think about it, chargebacks are a huge thing in the industry, right? If you know who you're referring the Medicare thing to, you guys could be a collaborative team and sit there and say, hey, he just canceled his policy. I know it's not your policy, but can you check up, see what's going on, see if everything's good, because he's not answering my phone calls, right? Like it could really be that simple, even if you don't want to delve into that. But if you are the agent for all 4 of their policies, like dental, Medicare, ACA, life, like their whole family is with you, then you could call and say, hey, you didn't pay this month. I don't know if something's shaky, like just let me know. We could pull from the cash value for the whole life policy to just pay for this month or things of that nature. But it makes a lot more sense to cross sell and become the entire circle for the whole family, right? Like everything. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how we're really helping agents, I feel.
Fantastic. And you mentioned a lot of like stuff around, leads and some of these approaches, that agents have used for a long time to get connected in front of opportunities of helping people as a part of that. But what made you guys want to explore social media and content creation as part of your recruiting strategies and what you're doing on that side?
I would say we're looking at different avenues for how can I generate like more quality people that I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
And I want someone before that I even talk with them, at least have some background information, at least have enough interest to hop on a call. And it just seemed like the personal branding route was what we were looking for all along. So we're really glad that we got connected with you, and going through your course and just understanding basics with Facebook, because me and Mike's generation, not to make fun of anyone, is we're not really on Facebook. So
Okay.
so
Yeah.
I was more on like Instagram and maybe TikTok for a little bit, but Facebook's probably the most valuable resource for like an insurance agent at this point.
Yeah, I would I mean, the biggest thing for me when it came to getting to the social media standpoint, or trying to find a different way to get outbound opportunities, is from Facebook. Like, people are on Facebook all the time. They're gonna come back. They're not just gonna. You get a text message, they're gonna be like, okay, I'll answer this tomorrow, right? And then they're gonna forget about it. But a Facebook post, a Facebook thread, a Facebook messenger, they're gonna get notifications. They're gonna understand that, hey, this guy's really reaching out to me. Hey, I see this guy at a motel or a hotel or something. That looks pretty cool. Oh, he just sent me a text. Oh, I need to go look at that, right? We're in your face more. It's definitely better to be on the Facebook platform than just cold calling, cold emailing, texting.
Right.
And you also get to get like a snapshot of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you build a lot better relationships with people if you find stuff you relate on their profile.
yeah. Like, instead of, for example, if anyone's cold calling out there, if you really think about it, you don't understand what's going on. Like, you don't have any intel to go off of, no information on their life. It's very hard to connect with someone, because that's all it really is at the end of the day: authenticity, connection. You have no chance to do that off 10 seconds on the phone, and they're like, "Are you a telemarketer?" Like, you don't really get a chance to really understand what's going on. But when you get to see their kids, you get to see their family, you're like, hey, like, I understand you're selling right now, and like the biggest thing is making sure you got food on your people's plate, right? You can connect to them that way. So I think that's why I think being on social media opposed to just cold outreach is just way more effective. It's a lot more close and connecting wise. And again, like Jumpstart Go, you guys have done a great thing, right? I think it was a great process. Ali is a great teacher. Elle and you, we brought you to the At Work network events. I'm not sure if you see it there, but there are these resort events we also host as a company as well. And it's also it's been great, man. I appreciate you guys, just because it opens up how we can help agents more as well, right? Because at the end of the day, what we do is to help people. So if we tell them, hey, come to Jumpstart Go, so they can teach you how to really effectively use your Facebook channel or group. What do you call that? Channel, account? Is that YouTube? Use your Facebook profile. Profile is the word. So use your Facebook profile, be a center of influence in these different sectors and different keywords that you guys use, right? So.
And I mean, you guys talk a lot about relationships and how important that is, both internally within network, yourselves with your clients and the agents that you help, empower as a part of that. And when it comes down to it, we talk with agents every day and ask, like, hey, would you rather people come and be like, Cam, Mike, you guys are awesome. Seen you guys, already know who you guys are. Would love to work with you guys either as part of that opportunity, or hey, would love for you to help my parents with their Medicare as they got all these questions and I don't know what that means. Or call someone on the phone. It's like, I don't know who you are. Are you a telemarketer? You got 10 seconds for them hanging up on you.
Yeah.
And you usually say, yeah, I want the relationship. I value the relationship. It's like an easy deal. Like, and absolutely, they already know me. I already got the trust there. I'm just getting them plugged in or getting them helped out with the policy on that side. And honestly, I will talk about the future in a second, but see a lot of the shift of with the rise of AI and trust factors, and then stuff like Apple rolling out its call screening feature and all this other stuff, like
Really?
just that trust connection becoming more and more important, right? And that's why we're talking about people and why we're talking about connection there, right?
Yeah, it's definitely just going to be infinitely valuable in the future, especially with like the AI content generation now. Like every time a new image model comes out or video model, they're like, "Oh, is this AI or is this real life?" Like it's getting harder and harder to tell. So definitely, the more organic stuff is going to be dominant in the future.
I think
And
I think also as you guys, go ahead, Mike.
oh no, I honestly lost my thought, to be real. You saved me there, David. You sensed
I
it.
got you.
What were
I got you. Because I was going to say, honestly, as you guys continue growing and scale and have, thousands of, agents and agencies that you're helping support them grow and scale their businesses as a part of this, like, how do I stay plugged in and connected with them where they're connected with me very much still personally on a personal level, but I have so many, I can't give them all a call each day. I can't sit on for an hour with 1,000 people and stuff there, but I can be in front of them every day through social. They can see what's going on in my life, what I'm doing, upcoming training I'm going to put on to help support them, me, winning the pickup game at the, on the court, right? And,
Right.
Whatever that is, like I can have this continued relationship with them partly through social and at volume that keeps the retention, that keeps the, hey, I know I can plug into these resources and reach out. I know I get my emails and texts, but man, I love seeing what's going on in Cam and Mike's life. I love seeing them level up. I love seeing them take over this industry
Right.
and supporting that. And oh yeah, I got a referral that they just reminded me I need to send that referral over to them, right? So, the power of leverage over time, I think, is a big thing there too. And honestly, for some people, it's a big new experience. You guys did grow up with social, maybe not Facebook. I'll be honest. Yes, Millennial and Gen Z is not the sexiest, most fun platform. It's not my personal favorite either, although it's great for business. But yeah, I'm over Instagram, TikTok, right? Much more fun there, but there's a lot of value to be said as far as the business side for like Facebook and like for a senior audience, which a lot of who your agents and agencies you're working with or helping are there as well. But with that, like part of it is learning and trying new things if you haven't done it and starting to bring on these more modern ways and resources of applying those. And so part of that was us coming in, doing a training session with Network and getting to come in and produce 190 pieces of social content in 45 minutes. What was the experience like for you guys there, and how did you kind of see some of your colleagues perceive it?
I personally loved it. We didn't know what to expect. I knew you guys would do a great job. Like you go all over to different events, so this isn't anything new to you. But I have never seen my coworkers have so much fun in the office. Like we're running up and down the stairs, going up and down the elevator, taking pictures in the front lobby. Like everyone was having a great time, and we definitely got a lot closer as a team. And seeing that, social media doesn't have to be hard. Like you guys maybe was it like an hour and a half, and we maybe shot 100 something videos and pictures. Like it's ridiculous.
The thing is, it's really funny because they're older individuals. No shade to anyone on the team because they're gonna see me soon. Like, what are you talking about? Older? I'm just as young as you, and I'm like, all right. But I love all of them. I love everybody in that building, in our office, right? So it's cool to see them be so interactive with social media because it's not something they're used to. You're a scroller on Facebook, not a post every day, interact every day type of thing. So it's very cool for them to at least get out of their comfort zone and actually try, right? And I mean, you guys put on a great event, honestly.
And I think a big thing of that was helping them see that it doesn't have to be scary, or it doesn't have to be this like really, I have to perfect everything in order to put a post out. That I can just be me, put something out and have fun with it as a part of that. So I loved, and props to the team there of hopping in, being willing to do it. Even if, there was, one guy in the back that maybe was a little, but his stuff ended up being some of the funniest and some of the best stuff, which is hilarious and great. And I love that, like, cool. I can learn new stuff. I can apply new things. And yeah, and honestly, I think it's a good opportunity to show off your guys' culture and who you guys are, which is why we're talking about a lot of this today, is being able to show prospects, recruits, who are you and why you, right? Like, everybody tells me I can come make money. Everybody tells me they got great resources. Everybody tells me, and I don't really know for sure till I hop in all those cases, except for the people who show me that day in, day out, where I can see that. I can see them. I know them. I trust them, or I see them with their other team members. I was like, okay, I want to be a part of that versus I don't know who you are, but you just told me you're the best, but so does everybody, right?
I mean, for me personally, again, transparency. Like, at the end of the day, just like with the numbers, I really like to, the only thing I'm selling is like the transformation of what you could become, just because of the point that, hey, we're trying to make sure that you're more analytical in your sales. You're more understanding of sales cycles. You're more understanding of what's going to happen during these months, instead of, hey, I'm all over the place. Hey, I'm only buying $10,000 of leads with no help, and I just got to make these work, right? We're here to actually, reimburse you for those leads, help you when you're in a tight spot, and at least make sure that you have the avenues to succeed, like setting up a Walmart. Paid an entire Walmart for one of my agents last year, right? She generated some business from that as well. So, my bad. So going through all those different ways, right, you're able to transform into someone that can make consistent income that isn't jittery and all over the place, right? Because it's a scary industry if you're not prepared. Like, if it's your full-time job and you sit there and you never trained on any type of sales process or anything like that, you might jump into it saying, I'm charismatic, I can do it. Like, and you probably can. To be real, it doesn't require a lot, in my opinion. As long as you're just keeping the best frame of mind for your client, you could still be successful. But if you understand KPIs, lifetime value, return on investment, CPAs, basically the basics of business, like, that could really boost your business just because it's predictable, right? And from there, just being consistent. It's a transformation. It's where you're from to where you want to go, and just being transparent on how we get there, instead of just hoopla, we're just going to sell insurance and we're going to do it. And this is why you need to be over here. Like, I don't want to, me personally, I'm not that type of guy. I want my people to grow. Yes. Right. So, and I will push people away if this is not for them, because I've had appointments where people want to come to our team. They want to come to network insurance. And I'm literally sitting there like, hey, you were sold another IMO that says you could sell 40K in a month with no type of stress level or no type of hard work ethic, right?
They don't have to pay for their leads.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for your leads. And it's like, okay, you're independent. You own your business. It's 100% yours. So we can't pay 100% of your leads for your business, right? Like, that's just not how it works, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that goes back to what you were saying, David, as far as being not only an insurance agent, you're also a business owner. So you have to understand the business side and be able to do both. You don't necessarily have to recruit or bring people under you, but you still need to understand both.
Yeah. And it's important to have us, or at least someone that would actually care for you. Yeah. Like, there are some people where it's like, you'll never hear from them once you're asking for release. Like, they're gone for 3 to 6 months. Yeah. Like, yo, I thought we were in it for the long run. Like, where'd you go, bro?
Suddenly their phone doesn't work.
Yeah. Suddenly the phone doesn't work, and they're not a salesman anymore. They're in Alaska. They're hiding from you. Like, one of the great things about network is something we call, you guys have it? Hello? I think he.
I'm here. Keep going.
Oh, I thought you said something. Something I was gonna say was something about network is like reciprocal releases, where we basically have a process where, let's say your upline signs on the left side of the paper that you're going to be released to network, and then network signs on the other side, and then if they enjoy our service, they enjoy us as a company, they can stay with us, and they have the contract agreement that they could go back to their previous upline if service isn't up to par. And it's great for people that want to come over and really understand, because one, it puts us on the back burner, like, hey, we need to provide a service. We need to at least do what we came to do, instead of, oh, you signed, now you're with me for 6 months, or you can't produce. Like that's basically the I think it saves a lot of people. And I see a lot of people I talk to, they deflate all the nervousness because they're like, oh, okay, they really want me to succeed, or else I can just leave. Right. I think that's also a great thing.
It's the let me prove it and show it to you, right? Which,
Right.
I think a lot of this industry doesn't do that, right? So that's really awesome that you guys do that. And coming back to like, oh, it's your business that you're building as a part of that. That's where I think, yeah, like just training around basic business principles is so important. Like, yes, the like all the KPI metrics, CPAs, all these things that people like look like a deer in the headlights when you bring them up, or like, oh, look at my expenses, my revenue, like my P&L statements. What's a P&L statement? What kind of tax strategies am I leveraging? Like, what are my different marketing methods, and what's that look like? What is my lifetime value? You ask that to a lot of agents, like, once again, deers in the headlights, right? And I think a lot come in, in their minds, oh, I'm building a business and I'm an entrepreneur, but in their actions and day to day, oh, I'm kind of built myself a glorified sales job, or still bring that employee mindset, and that I think is what leads to a lot not succeeding, right? Like, I need to know, how do I build a business? I've never done it, so someone show me a bit what I need to know.
It's crazy, because if you really think about it, some people, they would say they're calling for 6 hours, and then 3 hours of their calling is on TikTok. And then not only is 6 hours of their calling, what metrics did you get back from that 6 hours? Did you get appointments set? Did you get one call closes? Like, what are we talking about? And if we're really effective with our time as a salesperson, if you're really effective with, hey, I'm focused for these 6 to 8 hours, I think you're hitting 5K weeks minimum, in my opinion. If you're getting leads every second, if you're even cold calling every second, I still think you'll hit 5K. And that's what is advertised. But what isn't advertised is the 8 hours of actually locking in, doing role plays before you start, going through all the jitters, right? And just focusing, because of the fact that, hey, and I understand it too. I have friends that are my age that will start in and be like, hey, I thought I could just chill. And I'm like, bro, like, you're still working. You're still working. Like you could even do 3 to 4 hours of dedicated time a day and still hit 3K in a week. And you're really hitting you're making more than most of your peers at McDonald's. Like, to be completely honest.
And I think that's too why maybe like young millennial to even Gen Z, like part of the attraction of bringing new ones into the industry and the opportunity and some of the stuff there is if I can also show them the modern way of doing those things, right? Like, I don't know about you guys. I mean, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but like for most younger millennials, just millennials in general, and then definitely Gen Zs, it seems like one of the worst nightmares a little bit, sit down, call 500 people, have a couple people cuss you out, and they'll do that for 40 years.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know about this, but like, hey, here's modern technology. Here's social media, the thing you grew up on that you like. Here's how to bring people to you. Here's how to have fun with it and branding and enjoy what you're doing and show who you are. And people come work with you and they're like, yeah, that sounds a little bit better. And I can do this kind of wherever. I can travel. I can kind of make my own hours. I can have my freedom, and I can like be a part of a cool culture. It's like, it's like, that's what I want. Like, Elle and I, if you guys know us, like, we love travel. We love living in different places. We love culture. We love that freedom. We love community. You guys been around our team. Try to build a very hands-on, very awesome like team, community, culture between that. Like, yeah, we're pretty close with each other. Seen your guys' team. I've seen network. I've seen you guys are pretty close to each other as well, and fun and environment and everything is a part of that, and who you see day to day. And I think that's that's ultimately like what lasts and persists too, right? Like
Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of people in this space and companies even like they're crushing one day and then disappeared and gone the next day because it's toxic. Culture wasn't there. They weren't doing things compliant. They were right. There was no help support, or it was all just, not real numbers, right? And that's the thing. Like we're here to stay, right? You guys got a few more years of business left in you, right, before you retire. And so, like, yeah, you're building.
Tomorrow.
You're building, right? Listen, nothing wrong with it, but I think you'd be bored pretty quickly, and then you'd be like, all right, back to building, right? And so, entrepreneurs, we don't retire. We just like enjoy life as we're building because we'd just be really bored in that. So speaking of that, like, and that's where I kind of like from the last kind of parts of this a little bit too, I want to talk about what kind of people are you looking to bring into the industry now and why? And like, what do you think the next generation of leadership in insurance should really look like?
You want to go? I would say because of the fact that we do most of the recruiting for our agencies, it would be like agency owners. A lot of people that want to build, they want to get more agency owners in it, or not agency owners in it, more agents. Like even if they wanted newer agents, if they wanted old experienced agents, we basically do it all. Again, as I said before, last week I got 7 agents for this agency, and she's already trying to go and start training them and things of that nature. We've done multiple campaigns of that exclusively, right? Like someone that's trying to build their business, make a team, and actually build something that can last. Because again, you're taking away 50% of the risk of whenever you're devoting your money for leads. And then after the first year of whatever you made, we now have some measurements, some metrics, and we can make a business plan for the next year to try and get you an even bigger loan or grant. Or not even a loan, it's a grant of money. It's not anything you have to pay back.
Yeah, I would say, like Mike said, just like team builders for the most part. Because our main goal with what we're doing by the end of this year is to really make it so someone new to the industry can get plugged into an agency that genuinely cares about them, right, and they have the leads, training, and support they need to be successful. Not everyone has to write $40K a month to be successful. It's whatever you define that is, but you should at least have the opportunity if you have the work ethic to do so.
In my opinion, if we can get that 97% to 96 and that 1% is just us, because again, that's a lot of agents. If that 1% is just us and we can save them from having to drop out in 2 to 3 years, that would be major. And again, there's 24 trillion every year made in insurance, right? Like 3% lasts after 5 years. You can just divide it after that, right? Like there's a lot of money in it. Everyone can make money in this industry. It's just really putting your heart into your work, understanding that these are people. Like life insurance is not something to mess around with. You're not throwing policies that are just going to poof in thin air, right? Yeah. You want actual real policies because these are families you're affecting. And we major in health and Medicare. We got to make sure they're protected, right? Like there's Medicaid cuts, things are going on right now. And that means that for new agents in the industry, there's 2 ways that can go. It can go really well because now there's a lot of people that are misplaced and you have to reassign them to policies, or it could be like not the best thing for you, right? You can go into life, still help them on the health side and cross sell. It's not like Medicare is going to go away. ACA is not going to go away. It's just an avenue that you could help people. So,
and kind of following up on what Mike said, is definitely like someone ethical at the end.
Yeah.
Like if you're just joining the industry to just write as many policies as you can and get out, then you're probably not going to be a good fit.
Yeah. It's detrimental to your business, and it's detrimental to, I mean, the law will catch you. Like,
the law will catch you, but also, honestly, your customers and your prospects will, right? Like if you're not doing your right job, you're not getting the right things, your reputation gets ruined, and like you also get in trouble, sure, with like DOI and law and stuff. But honestly, just like at the end of the day, it's not sustainable even if you didn't get in trouble with the DOI. Like your clients aren't going to stick. You're not doing the right things for them. You're possibly really messing their lives up, and that's what happens if we don't do our jobs right. We we can just ruin people's lives, even, or like their families' lives or legacies and all these things. And that's why it's important. That's why there is licensing. That is why that you want that help and support, and you want to feel confident in what you're doing. And if I don't know that myself, I want to know I can go to someone to get the answer to that and the help there. So I think that's right. Ethical is the only sustainable type of person to bring in too, because ultimately if they write a bunch, leave, and that stuff rolls back or charged back, well, who's that going to go to? It's going to go to their upline, right? So at the end of the day, it's protecting yourself also. So,
and on the Medicare side, it's especially important. And like we're really excited to be partnering with this platform that will do like AI call scoring to make sure that all the calls are compliant. Because I mean, that's the biggest worry besides certifications with most agents with getting into Medicare.
Yeah.
Is all the rules and regulations around it. Who can I call? How many hours do I have to make my appointment out for my scope of appointment? Like all of that stuff is, beginner stuff to us, but from the outside looking in, it can definitely be scary.
Yeah. And new agents, you want to end up in the right place the first time. I've talked to a lot of agents where they started with, I'm not going to say any names, a company where, like, let's say you get 45% commission when you start as a life insurance agent. And of course you can sign or sell to your friends and family. That's a great avenue if you know what you're doing, for sure. But if you are going to sell to them, you should at least get the full commission of your friends and family. I don't support having low commission and not being able to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor, because then it keeps you in this treadmill cycle where you have to keep running. You have to keep finding friends and family. And eventually it's going to run out. And eventually you're going to have to look for other ways to build your business, which is not wrong at all. It's just a harder route to start in, right? You start in that industry and now you're thinking, and again, me and him talk to agents all the time, you're thinking this is the industry, because there isn't somewhere else that's telling you, hey, this is not the right way to be doing business. They don't really look. People don't really go on YouTube and click, hey, is this the insurance life? Right? So because they don't ever do that, they never fully understand, oh, there's a better way. There's broker managers, there's lead reimbursement, there's talking to the carriers directly. Like, there's different ways to be successful in the industry besides getting low commission and selling to friends and family. Because I think that's 40% of 97. I honestly think 40% of them start out in the wrong place, and it's really just their upline isn't educating them on how to really maximize the policies for their clients. And then they're not understanding business mechanics. They're not understanding script sales process. They're not understanding a lot of things. And it's impossible to succeed, in my opinion, unless you put in your own time to study an extra 3 hours a day. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's why it's, really focused around methods where, I don't have to rely on the friends and family. And, I got the plenty of business like coming who already knows me and wants to talk with me, or don't have to worry maybe even as much about outbound calls compliance because they're coming to me, right? Like it's 100% compliant when they just come to me, right? On that side too. So I think that's some of the shifts changed too, of like, how do I just have more inbound that come to me? Versus having to find people, because that's part of the brand's reputation. That's why a lot of this industry knows AmeriLife, right? They've built their reputation, built the brand in the industry as a part of that, and people are just like, listen, I know about AmeriLife, I came to AmeriLife. Like, so it's like, I know about Cam and Mike, I came to Cam and Mike, right? Like they're the people, they're the go-tos, right? And it feels good too when people are like, yeah, I know you guys crush. Like, yeah, I want to come work with you guys, right? So,
and, just final plug. I was just thinking, like, again, like the reciprocal release goes both ways, right? Like if you started with us, you could always go somewhere else, and we're not going to sit there and keep you tied down with a rope around your legs, right? It's a good entryway, in my opinion. And again, I'm not talking to only new people, right? So if you are an agency owner and things of that nature, and you want to expand your business, I like me, Cam likes him, we like each other. And we have multiple people that will say we're great at what we do.
And that's important. Reputation, relationships, everything, which is what we've been discussing for sure. And so outside of, being the future of the industry and helping agents and agencies grow and scale, what do you guys like doing outside of work? Decompress for fun?
A lot of basketball. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Getting buckets.
Yeah, ever since it's funny, ever since moving to Tampa, we didn't really know what to do with our free time. So I think Michael loved basketball from our early age. I didn't really play sports like that growing up. So just getting into like building a community here at our local gym, like now we're close friends with a lot of the guys that go there. And
goes to show,
basketball just has been a really good release to just do something outside of work, have fun, stress.
It's crazy moving from Miami to Tampa. We kind of have this framework that Miami, it's a lot. I'm not gonna talk crap about Miami, but it's a lot.
Just people aren't friendly.
Yeah, they're not as friendly. They're not really open to more conversations. So it's funny coming to Tampa. Like the first 3 months we were here, we were like, yo, they're saying what's up to us. Like they're saying hi to us. What's going on?
They're friendly.
Yeah, exactly. So we sat there. We made a group chat in our basketball gym, and literally it's to the point where every Saturday, like 12 to 20 people all coming together, just play basketball together. So we really just kind of built like a mini community from there. No sales in mind at all. Just like how you could make a Facebook group with everyone you sell to. It's the same exact thing. Like it's more real than you would think. Sales is life, right? Like you can quite literally do everything you would do in a sales capacity with Medicare, for example, and do it with regular people, because everybody, as long as the relationship is organic and it's not anything in bad faith. We've made so many friends. I think we're going to go on a boat from one of our buddies. He actually owns a studio in New York.
Yeah.
Crazy connection. He actually met Tupac before and had him in the studio. It's the biggest studio in New York, actually.
Yeah, we got
Holy Angels, I think.
You, David. But
yeah, we got it.
Yeah, it's just you could sell the same thing for insurance agents, right? It's like, are you out, even if you don't have money for leads, even if you don't want to cold call, but are you out talking to people, letting them know what you do?
Yeah. Don't be a secret agent, guys. No one knows what you do. It's really hard to come to you, right? And like, not just out of the community or letting people know, but like on your socials, guys, too. Like if someone goes to your social, do they know what you do at all? Maybe they should. Maybe they'll approach, maybe they'll send people to you, because they will, right? So don't be a secret agent, guys. Let people know, right? Just like Cam, Mike, letting everybody know who they are, what they're doing, and what they're putting in place here, guys. And we really appreciate you guys hopping on, join us. Like, hey, where can people plug in, connect with you guys, follow along, or talk? Hey, I liked a lot of what you guys talked about. I'd love to connect with you guys.
Yeah, I think the easiest way would be through Facebook. That way we can message directly, set up a meeting for a time that's good for both of us.
Right.
And just like furthering the connections. There's a lot of people that I'll meet over Facebook, and maybe we can't work directly together right now, but who's to say in the future we can't work together?
Yeah, I would also say Facebook, Michael Horton. There's another guy out there, another Michael Horton, but he's not me.
The fake Michael Horton.
Yeah,
the fake
Michael Horton. He took my name. You'll see marketing director at Network Insurance. Forgive me, I haven't been posting every day, but I do need to get back on it. It's just I help all my agents all the time. So we're very busy all the time. We got like 3 emails while we were doing this. Like, is our meeting still set? So yeah, we're come talk to us. We're cool people. And again, transparent. We're not going to sit there and say, hey, you can't talk to us if we don't sell together. We're just honest people.
And I guess Cameron Green on Facebook.
Yeah.
Love it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll get those links in the show notes and everything for you guys. If you guys go to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast, we've got it all put together for you. Thank you guys so much, Cam, Mike, for coming and joining us, getting to share. Look forward to talking more. Look forward to playing some basketball and hanging out and getting back to the Nerf guns. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you, David.